There's an American scientist called Carl Sagan who died just before the turn of the century. And he has been very, very popular, making science accessible to ordinary people. Just before he died, he knew he was dying. He wrote a couple of articles about thoughts at the turn of the millennium. And in one of them he said, when we look back at the 20th century, it will go down in history for three things. One, we have developed our ability to enhance and prolong life. With all kinds of scientific development, we have learned to live longer. The second is our ability to destroy life. And for the first time in human history, threaten our civilization. And then he talks about piling up of weapons and pollution and crisis and destruction, and a century that has been the bloodiest century we have ever seen, killing 150 million people. And the third thing is a remarkable insight into the smallest element and the universe itself. The 20th century, when we entered the 20th century, there were 2 billion people on the planet. 2. In just 100 years, we added another 5 billion. And this amount of, more than doubling the amount of human beings on the planet has messed up all governing systems. Nobody has been able to govern this massive influx of more people. So the world has become an extraordinary or an exceedingly more chaotic place. $3 billion who entered this century, the 21st century, are living under extremely lousy conditions beyond imaginations. Millions of refugees, epidemic diseases that are killing thousands of people every single day. Not a bridge that doesn't have homeless people or immigrants living under them. And in just the first 10 years of this century, we have added another 1 billion to the 3 billion that were already there. So we have today 4 billion people living under extreme conditions. It's more than half of us. Gandhi said, evil only exists because good people don't do anything. So all of you are good people. All of you here have lifted your head out of the sand, and you don't like what you see. You want to do something. To fight poverty, to fight alongside the poor. On one hand, I can say, congratulations, that's a noble decision to take. On the other hand, I will say, of course. I mean, if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? So with this speech, I invite you to become part of Generation C. C. C stands for courage. And C stands for catapult. Courage and catapult, that's the C. So join Generation C. Generation C are the front runners. Those who see the problem and throw themselves into finding solutions without knowing where to find them, but knowing that it is a must, and that by putting our heads together, we can find them. The world desperately needs a Generation C. And fortunately, there are many in Generation C. They have started to cut the way through the jungle. They are active on every continent. It's workers, teachers, farmers, students, youth, priests, fishermen, you name it. Lifting the head out of the sand pile, you do not only force yourself to see the challenges ahead, but you also see the many other Generations C you can join. Some of them are sitting right here in this room. So, I want you to shake hands with your neighbor and congratulate him on this. All students at all the DRH schools around the world will have the database available for them to be the driver in the seat of their own education. We are doing this conference on behalf of the whole DRH movement. Everything we do is going to be used by new or this and future generations of DRs.